Well, you could call it the nature of things with David Suzuki. Sun News tried to question the revered environmentalist about his political opinions, but guess what? He refused to answer. And what was supposed to be a story on an endorsement turned out to be a story about character. That leads us to our producer's Picks of the Week. With more, here's Sun News Live senior reporter Simran Bhan.
Hi, I'd like to start today's segment by thanking our Jessica Hume, who went out earlier this week to cover an event by Dr. David Suzuki in Ottawa. The story she ended up with was very different from the one she was chasing, though. She went to this event, and when she told them that she was representing Sun News, organizers turned her away. Jessica Hume, though, was adamant that she was not going to leave, and it actually turned out that Dr. David Suzuki refused to appear altogether as long as she was at the event. Now, Jessica held to her ground, and when she refused to leave, this is what happened.
Could somebody use their cell phone to call 911? We have media here who are not leaving. We need them to leave. We need them to leave.
But only Rob Ford calls 911 for media.
You're right.
Yeah. You're right.
That's right. Organizers threatened to call the police as long as Jessica Hume remained on the premise. Now that encounter was only stopped because of Elizabeth May, who intervened. Jessica Hume published a report on this encounter the next day for our paper. She also spoke about it on Sun News Network. And we received a lot of feedback, including one letter from Larry O'Brien, the former mayor of Ottawa, who also appeared on The Source. O'Brien told our Ezra Levant that as mayor, he was working on a project to convert waste to energy when he was approached by Dr. Suzuki and his team, who wanted to take a meeting up with him and tell him that the merits of his project weren't essentially great. O'Brien took that meeting, but he said he was presented there with articles and with research that wasn't scientific. And when he questioned Dr. Suzuki about the material and about the people presenting it, one of whom was apparently a co-op student, Dr. Suzuki did not react quite as he had expected.
I then made one comment. I said, Dr. Suzuki, I am very, very surprised that you are taking your scientific advice from a co-op art student. And then he simply blew up. He turned red. I was challenging him. I was saying, I don't think this makes any sense. And he got very, very upset at me. He, in fact, got up, and the first thing he said is, I have never been this badly treated by anybody in my life, and he stormed out of the meeting.
That producer's pick was brought to you by Matt Wolf, who is the executive producer on the talk side of Sun News. Now, you heard earlier there Elizabeth May mentioning Rob Ford and the incident when he called 911 on a comedian who approached him on his driveway. Rob Ford has been chastised for that event and many more in his mayorship. He spoke in an exclusive interview with our David Menzies to talk about his critics and how he feels about them.
Were you expecting the kind of vitriol you and your family has received from some of the left-wing media outlets in this city?
I'm not surprised. They've been doing it since I've been in politics 13 years ago. They want to, go after my big belly. At least it's paid for. That's for sure. And I'm not using taxpayers' money. If that's all they have, then obviously my politics must be working. I'll debate anyone, anytime, any journalist, anytime, if they want to criticize me for my politics and what my administration has done. I'll be more than happy to debate them on that.
That was Toronto Mayor Rob Ford, who did an exclusive three-part interview with our David Menzies. That producer's pick was brought to you by Brian Roth, who is the senior producer for Menzoid Mornings. That wraps up producers' picks for this week. Back to you.